Aloha everyone, Joshua Hayes at BigWaveTrading.com. Stock market pretty much did exactly what I thought it would. It was not a successful day trading the SPY put options out of the gate. I was looking to trade the puts. It rallied above the pre-market highs where I cut my loss on half for a 10% loss. And moving on into the end of the day, I was basically flat on the position, slightly higher. So I went ahead and sold my two contracts at the end of the day for a total 8% loss on the day. But that being said, where is my puts? There they are. With all that being said, as you can see from the lows of the day still, if you're a better trader than me, or you can be around and you obeyed my head and shoulders 10, 20-day moving exponential moving average crosses, which you can see on this chart. Now, this is the put. This isn't the SPY. I am only bringing this chart up just to show you the potential of the trade. I would never use this chart to ever make any trading decisions. I only use the regular SPY chart. But anyway, from the lows, the thing moved from 60 cents all the way up to 130. As you can clearly see, it is once again another 100% gain intraday. This is why I continue to focus on them. And let's say that you were even going on the other end if you were doing calls. Let me bring up the call chart actually. Where's the call chart? There we go. There's the call. Let's bring that up there. Let's put it out a little bit just to show you the potential that can be made in these things. This is why I hate calls. They don't really even do that much. But you can still see 39% gain there. From that move to right there, there's a 43% move. And into the close, another 24% move. So that's why I like trading these things. Okay, anyway. Getting back to the overall market analysis, the SPY is at that downtrend line. The Dow Jones Industrial Average, as you can see, multiple overhead resistance levels to deal with. The Russell 2000 failing right at those old highs. Hit it intraday for a second, and then we pulled back. It's a double top, could be a potential triple top. We'll see how it ends up in the next few sessions. And the NASDAQ still clear highs ahead, but if we get back below this recent resistance level line, I assume it's going to act as resistance once again. But old resistance hopefully becomes new support. So we'll see what we do going on from there. It was a very good day in my portfolio. Gains overall, but there's still some sell signals. SMDD is a 50% sell signal on an end-of-day basis. This is a hedge. Same with BIS. So if you're long anything still, you can either use the still, like for me, I only have two stops on BIS after this one right was taken out. This one right here. So now I have one stop level here and one final stop level there. For SMDD, I still have one and only stop level right there. But if you have more than if you have a bigger position than you want, then easily you can put 50% below today's low a day for BIS or SMDD. TREX also 50% end of day sell signal, closing below the signal date's low a day. So that's that. BBX re-rolling over even further, closing below the lows here on heavier volume. That's a 50% sell signal. Remember, if you're long any of these, you move half of whatever you have to 1 cent below today's low a day. Soda, same thing, re-rolling over below the 50-day moving average on above average volume. MODN, re-rolling over below the 50-day moving average on heavier volume. My final cut loss in MODN is right there. My final cut loss on soda, despite it being a long position since back here and still being above its 20-day moving average, I am down to 2 shares because I've been partialing out, hitting stops, taking profits all along the way. I only have 2 shares left. One here, since it's got all that red bop and all that distribution. And then WBAI closing below the low a day of Friday session, re-rolling back over below the 50-day moving average on heavier volume while losing BOP catalyst. So that is also a 50% end of day sell signal. I actually still have my final stop all the way back here like a maniac. But I go a quarter here, a quarter here, a quarter here, and a quarter right there for whatever remains on WBAI for me. And there was only one 100% sell signal. SPAR, the long signal, was here. As long as it had the green BOP catalyst, I was going to use this level as my final sell stop. But after today's session, I was knocked out of already half of what I had left here. I don't know why, but whatever I had left, for some odd reason I had 2 stops before I just adjusted it, but I readjusted everything. But the bottom line is all of my sell stops of what I have remaining is here. My final sell stop was right here at 1505. It now gets moved to 1535. Okay, so that's it for the end of the day sell signals. Only one full sell signal. I only have 3 quality long positions for Tuesday. APTO is the only new long position. East is an add, and RIB-T is an add. Now, APTO is from my Perfect Speculator scan. I'm going to get long 1% of my account capital. That's about $5,000. I am no longer using my 2016 numbers because this market just refuses to pull back correctly. In February, March, I maintained a heavily long portfolio. Most stocks were holding up. We didn't get our 20% correction. My Cancelim scan has gotten too big, so I have removed all of those, re-updated my Cancelim scans with the current Cancelim quality stocks, and I'm no longer using my account balance totals from 2016 to trade with. I am now using what I currently have. So I'm no longer putting $4,000 to $4,500 per 1% signals. It's now up to $5,000 in this Interactive Brokers account that I'm using. So $5,000, 1% of my account capital into APTO, limit order, the high of the day, 337. First cut loss, I hate that little thing. Right there, 320. Next cut loss, right there, 313. Next cut loss, right there, 297. Next cut loss, 287. Final cut loss, 261. 5 stops. It seems ridiculous. Well, remember, I'm putting 5,000 into this thing. So I'm going to be, as each stop level goes, I'll be out of $1,000 worth of this stock. Each stop level is going to cost me $1. The commissions are negligible. It's like I'm basically trading with Robinhood with Interactive Brokers. So it's not a big deal on my end. But if it is on your end, I recommend just using these levels. Keep it tight. We're at resistance in the market. Another V-ramp move right into that resistance on low volume. So the tighter your stops, the better. If it works right away, great. If it doesn't, get out and wait for a better setup. But 337, 320, 313, 297, 287, and then 261. My stops on APTO, 1% of my capital. And then East. Love this signal. I said a long time ago, East, if you could get max green bop in this chart, this kind of signal right here, off that 50-day moving average, if you would have had max green bop up to that signal and volume surge well above average there, that's a perfect setup. But as you can see, the market environment, the non-perfect setup, the stock didn't go anywhere from there. But following its earnings report, a very bullish pocket pivot point signal at the 50-day moving average, heavier above average volume, a surge in BOP to a very high green level. So with East, I want to go ahead and add to my position. It was only in my Perfect Speculator scan. It was confirmed in my tertiary scan. If it would have been averaging over 50,000 shares a day, it would have made my price volume BOP surge scan, so it would have been 0.75% of my account capital, but as it is, it's 0.5%, so $2,500 into EAST, $7.50 my limit order. First cut loss level, here we go again, ready? 684, 672, 644, and 623. So I'm going to be using 4 levels here, 623, 644, 672, 684 on East. That's probably the best looking overall signal, but don't think that it's safe just because it says it's 50-day moving average. You can see how much of an outside its average true range move of the most recent moves lately it is, and it's extended from the pivot point signal. So if you want to be even more careful, you could have a limit order either 1 cent above 729 or 1 cent above 743 at 744. I'm just going to do 750. I'm going to keep it simple. I don't want to be too cute with this thing. That's how I end up missing trades, by trying to get it at 745. It only opens at 746, and then it runs to $8 without me. So 750. Now I did get filled on TTOO. I missed it because of that slight mistake. Should have used 715. Got down to 710. Well, I moved it and kept it at 715. Traded down to 711 intraday. So instead of the original 600 shares that I plan to buy, remove 10% each day for you don't get filled. One day I didn't get filled. 540 shares at TTOO at 715 a share. And then the final long signal, RIBT. This is a former perfect speculator quality stock. It now no longer, from its 52-week highs to low, has a 100% move. It's under 100%, like at 94%, ever so slightly, but that's why it misses a perfect speculator scam. But it's a future perfect speculator stock. It was an ex-perfect speculator stock, and it was in my price volume BOP surge scan. So 1% for price volume BOP surge, 0.5% for being X, and a future perfect speculator stock. So it would normally be 1.5% of my account capital, but it's an ad signal, so it's 0.75, and then has to be reduced even half again, 0.375, because it's extended from not only its 20, but its 10 and 5-day moving average. So I'm going right around it'll probably be right around 0.5% of my account capital, but I'm going to try to even out the amount of shares like it. 2,000, 3,000, 2,500 shares, whatever it is. But all I know, it's going to be right around 1.5, 0.75. So it's going to be anywhere from 0.375% of my account capital, which is around, I don't know, what is that? I don't even know right now, but or it's going to be 0.5% of my account capital, and if that's the case, that's $2,500 going into RIBT. Limit order on RIBT. By the way, really like this Zoom 3 and Zoom 4 combined charts. These are always my favorite charts. When I like it on a Zoom 3, that's just what Telechart calls it whenever you go back to July on the chart. But when I like the way it looks here, and then I like the way it looks there when I get up close, I know that even if it's extended, I want a small position. But 159, first cut loss level. You could use 156 actually. I'm going to go ahead and do this one. 151. Hold on, I'm totally off here. So yeah, you could do 156. I am not though. My first cut loss is going to be 151 on the ad signal, and my final cut loss is going to be 144. But once again, on all of these stocks, East, APTO, and RIBT, if they don't move higher immediately, I'm consolidating and raising my stops. All right, everyone. I'll see you in the chat room on Tuesday. Aloha.